All right, that's preparing. Maybe if I'm lucky, you can see me already in YouTube land. Ta-da! All right, and live and ready to go already. What's going on, Top Rope Nation? I'm hoping people are gonna start pouring in. I'm gonna start sharing things and getting everything ready for Brucey to show up from football practice, and hopefully for Wendy to get bailed out of Facebook jail. Because if you've been paying attention to us today, like what the hell was that about? Honestly, like not cool. Facebook, not cool at all. The whole thing was ridiculous. Like she had put a post in our group where somebody made a meme about this girl saying all men want one thing, and then it had Kyle O'Reilly with the NXT Championship strumming it, and above it she just wrote, "All men are pigs anyway," as a joke to go with the meme, and for some reason, Facebook was like, "Nope, nope, nope, flag gone, done. One more time, we'll disable the whole group." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, Facebook, what the? You make some shitty cyber cops. That's all I can tell you." All right, Brucey says he's on his way home now. Cool. Cool. I'm on, so bring your ass. All right, let's see here. Don't mind me if you're there already. I'm just letting people know I'm already here. And come on up and boom, golden. Yeah, I'll need that one too. Grandma Wendy needs to be straight up freed, like right now. Yes, yes, she does. My honorary brother. I don't know what the hell that was. We put the appeals in. We got the bail money together. Facebook is just being dicks. I don't know. I don't know. I seriously think they overreacted something hardcore. But that's just one man group, Twitter's. Well, that's everyone's opinion. To be honest, I can't put it any other way. That's pretty much everybody's opinion. Like Facebook jumped the gun, just bounced her for no apparent reason, and there were several people who were pissed off about that, and I'm happening to be one of them. So hopefully things get better from here. Hashtag free Grandma Wendy. Been a running theme today, if you haven't noticed, if you're not paying attention to us, which you should be. Like, shame on you if you're not. But I know people are busy. But still, shame. Shame. All right, we got that out there too. Let me see. Okay, so it's in the Facebooks, in the Twitter, it's on the Instagram. Cool, 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 cool. Everything's coming together. I love it when a plan comes together. I also love it when you see excellent connection. That's always your best friend right there when you look at the live stream and it says the words excellent connection. I'm also letting Chuck and the guys at Sports Cruise know to send me some updates on the game because obviously I can't be watching football, be sitting here at the same time. So I'm sacrificing a semi crappy Thursday night football game for you guys. You should feel honored. You don't have to, but you should. Non WWE guy, mac and cheese with tuna and TRWT on a Thursday night. Awesomeness. Yes, yes, it is. Now that I've got all that out of the way, let me get set up here and make sure everything's rolling. And I'm just going to entertain you guys for a little bit because Brucey's on his way, and Grandma Wendy should be getting bailed out of Facebook jail any minute now. So welcome in. Thank you for coming back. Y'all know me by now. I am the producer, the master impressionist, the soundboard extraordinaire, the record breaking 17-time champion, the jack of all trades, the master of absolutely none. The Psycho. How y'all doing out there tonight?
Damn, that's a cold ass honky.
And while we kick it and wait for Bruce and Wendy to show up, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about. If any of you had saw our episode yesterday afternoon while Grandma was on her lunch break, we gave you the behind the scenes, the whole Captain Catfish fiasco, and it definitely was something that we felt like we needed to do. And after the episode was done, from there we realized we pretty much did the right thing in the situation, and this is why. Because not only did people like Chris and get a newfound respect for Havoc for understanding and helping us out. Shortly after that episode, in fact, it was I was watching Dynamite, had the discussion thread in the Facebook group, which if you don't know about Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Facebook, got you. We're probably the best group with the best members as long as Facebook ain't trying to lock us up. Um, and I got an email in the midst of it, and that email was from Jessica Havoc, and she absolutely came through on her word and got me all of Impact's media department's contact information, emails, phone numbers, names, the whole nine. So sometime tomorrow, Monday, depending on how things go, I'm going to start getting in contact with their media department and requesting time with Jess, time with Sammy, and actually give you what we had promised you guys in the first place. Because this is the first time we've said somebody is coming on this show and then that somebody didn't show up. I know we've only done it like 5 or 6 times as far as interviews go, but if we say somebody from another podcast or Scorsese or whoever is going to show up, we always deliver. This is the first time we couldn't, and it's bothering me something awful. So hopefully, I'll get in touch with Impact's media department, cross all the T's, dot all the I's, get everything get all the ducks in a row, and we will find out when and how we can get Havoc, Sammy, maybe both of them at the same time, if that's a thing, because I know they don't really acknowledge them as a couple on Impact. So I don't know if we can get them both at the same time. But we're going to try to get them both, whether it be together or Havoc once and then Sammy next or whatever the fuck. We are going to do the best that we can to come through on what we promised you, on what I promised you, because as I said on the episode the other night, I'm the one that took this fool for his word. I'm the one that ran with it. I'm the one that promoted it. So as much as I love Bruce and Wendy, this one was on me, guys. Mainly on me. And I'll take that. I'll take that because I had the best of intentions. I wanted to bring the best that I could to, this show, to talk to you guys, to get your questions, to do whatever, to have fun with. I fucked up. I'm fixing it. It's that simple. I'm sorry. I fucked up. I'm fixing it. Don't you wish everybody in life was that simple, by the way? I'm sorry. I had to get that in. Um, and while I'm at it, I figured I might as well, since I don't know if they want any parts of it, talk to you all about Monday night and retribution. And oh my God. I mean, you had seen them over and over and over again for like a month, and you were waiting for some kind of big reveal. You were waiting for some kind of, moment where it comes out and you're like, oh shit, it's Dijakovic and it's Mia Yim and it's this person and it's that person. But once Monday came, that's not even close to what we got. What we got was a bunch of people in face paint, masks, whole new characters, whole new names. Like it's not Dijakovic anymore. It's T-Bar. And T-Bar reminds you of what you get when you order Bane from The Dark Knight Returns on Wish.com. Same mask, a little bit of face paint. I don't understand that. We also found out that Dio Madden is not Dio Madden anymore. Apparently, after Brock Lesnar put him through that table, Dio died and Mace was born. Mace? Like the bad boy artist from back in the 90s? Like, I thought I told you that we won't stop. Mace. Okay. And Shane Thorne, who had kind of bounced back in NXT for a little bit, disappeared again, is now back as Slapjack, which, if you know wrestling like I do, was the name of Conan's sock back in the day that he loaded up with some pool balls or whatever the hell he used to hit people with. Slapjack. I can't put it any better than Shooter Storm, who, if you saw our interview, great guy, very knowledgeable about wrestling, been in the business damn near 2 decades. Here we go. We got Stu coming in. We got Felipe coming in. What's up, guys? Shooter Storm had basically said in our Facebook group underneath one of the Retribution posts, like, yeah, I'd love to spend 20 years working my ass off and coming through the developmental territory and making a name for myself so they could take me, put me on a main roster, and change my name to something stupid like Monster Blowfish. Why? Even going back to it, we had the discussion last week about NXT from the What Culture article, and we had at bat, we had talked about the developmental system kind of being broken, mainly because they're not using NXT as developmental anymore. And when those stars do get to the WWE roster, they always feel the need to change them when they get there. If you develop them and they're stars in your developmental brand, doesn't that mean they're a star? Merch makers in the building. Yeah, I just, but it never works out that way. Like Dijakovic was a pretty large star in NXT. He had been there for several years. He had had some great matches with Keith Lee, Adam Cole, the works. Even got to the Survivor Series team, last year, and now that's no good. Now you got to be T-Bar. I don't even know what Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez are going to turn into. I just know they're in the group. Their system just doesn't work because they barely develop guys that they do have in NXT, and when they bring them up, they feel the need to change them to T-Bar or like with Keith Lee, change his music, change what he wears, change this, change that. Keith Lee was probably the best superstar of 2019 going into TakeOver against Karrion Kross. And you need to change him when he comes to Raw? What the hell for? And of course, there's always the people, you'll always get those guys that say, oh, well, they just revealed the names and they just did this and they just did that. You got to be patient and let it play out. Do you know how many stories over the years I was patient about and let play out? Do you know how many stories over the years a guy like Rusev sat around and let play out while he got himself over and they continued to bury him and just said, wait for it? How'd that work out for him, by the way? I mean, he's on Dynamite now and he seems happy, but how'd it work out for him in WWE? So if it doesn't work for the wrestlers, why are the fans supposed to sit around and wait for it? Your guess is as good as mine, y'all. I don't know. It doesn't seem to work anytime, but every time, whether it was Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, oh, wait and see where it goes. Whether it was Roman coming back, oh, wait and see where it goes. Now with Retribution, oh, wait and see where it goes. I know where it's going. Down the goddamn toilet. Like practically every other storyline you've had. The only decent one that I can remember recently, as far as factions, Hurt Business. End of list. Hurt Business. MVP took a bunch of guys who had crap going on, whether it was Shelton Benjamin doing nothing or Ced being buried or even Lashley with Lana, and he ended all that and he turned those guys into like some hybrid of the Four Horsemen, wearing suits and trying to run the show and going after Retribution, even though they're severely outnumbered. That's a great storyline. WWE can do it. They just don't, not consistently. They kind of fell into that one. I think we have MVP to thank for that one, and not exactly the powers that be at WWE. Because if it were up to the powers that be, we'd still have Lashley and Lana, which everybody fucking hated. I don't know anybody that was like, man, that Lashley Lana storyline, whoo, that was good shit. Outside of Vince McMahon. All right, sorry, y'all. Let me jump in here and see what we got going on. And oh crap, you know what? Maybe I should invite these guys to actually come in and join me. That might be a great idea. No one ever said I was the smartest man on earth. All right. So maybe now we'll get some people in. And thank you, Stu, for saying if you need backup, holler. I got you, man. I got you. Let's look at some of these comments we got. We got the mac and cheese one. Yes, of course, Stu. I love you. I'll stay off your lawn. I know how that goes. Alvaro retweeted the Twitter post of Free Grandma Wendy. You guys do a great job. Keep it up. Hey, and don't fret. Do what you need to do. I still believe in you and all you guys. Thank you, Alvaro. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have. We've gotten so much support after that whole catfish thing, and especially Jessica Havoc giving us the information we need to get in touch with the proper channels and get them on the show. That was huge. Thank you so much, Jess. Like I thought you were a pretty awesome person before all this, and that's why I wanted to interview you and I wanted to interview Sammy. And honestly, I think you're an even better person than I already thought that you did. That I already thought beforehand. Like you are amazing. I'm not worthy. I will be more than happy to welcome you to the show, but I'm still scum and I'm not worthy. And I apologize a million times over. I never meant to piss you off. I'm so glad you're cool with all this, and you're such a help, and you're such an awesome person, just in real life. Like no kayfabe, no wrestling, no nothing. Jessica Havoc is an amazing person, and you will never hear me say otherwise, regardless of circumstances. So thank you, Jess. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, the merch makers in the building. Hi, Kirby. Love you. Oh, and Alvaro also said, I talked to Grandma Wendy that night when I was watching on YouTube regarding Retribution exposing themselves. I, for one moment, thought I was watching tryout fails for Batman Rising actors that didn't make the cut. Yeah, it was sad. It was like some weird, great value DC universe in the middle of a ring. And the saddest part of it is you got people like Dijakovic, you got people like me and Mercedes Martinez. I don't know about Dio Madden so much. I know he's still a little raw, but the rest of them are vets. They've been doing this forever. And instead of like giving them their big break on WWE TV, which none of them have ever had, you're going to stick them in these costumes and throw them out in the middle of the ring and turn them into this weird Retribution faction that was kind of weird to begin with. I mean, they're raising havoc. They just threw a cinder block through a window. Ooh, what did it take? 12 of them? I'm scared. I'm sure right now the NWO is like shaking in their boots watching that type of shit go down. Even now today, like the ancient NWO who don't have their own hips and knees and all that shit could take Retribution at this point. Nobody's scared. So I don't get it. Stu says my Retribution name is Strap On. Yeah, I don't know. What would my Retribution name be? Like I'm the South Philly Psycho, so would I be like Straight Jacket? And I just come out, like fighting and shit in a black straitjacket and some makeup, looking like Crazy Steve or some shit. That might be a good like add-on gimmick. I don't know. It's just a guess. But yeah, I just you know it's not it's nothing against one promotion. It's this is something that WWE does and they do with consistency, and they need to stop. Oh crap. I think she got bailed out. Oh my god. She's out the clink. It's Grandma. Yay.
There you
Brucey's
go.
coming
Made
too.
it just in time. Holy cow. Do I need to change rooms? Can you see me okay? Should probably
I can
change my
see you all right.
background. Hey,
I can see you
Brucey.
fine. We're live, by the way. So
Okay.
Brucey's here. Man, did I feel time like a mug? Fresh out of Facebook jail.
Yo, can you hear me?
Not even. I'm still there.
I got you. I got you, bro. I can hear you. Oh man. So yeah. Finally, the TRWT3 is in the building. We were just talking about Retribution while we were waiting for you guys, and I think it was
Fuck Retribution.
Stu had said his Retribution name would be Strap On.
Oh. Oh.
Hey,
Wow.
you, Stu, you're funny, you. And I said, well, you know, being the South Philly psycho myself, would my Retribution name be like Straight Jacket? You know,
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it feels like it fits. Like that would be an upgrade for me. That's a downgrade for most of the people that are actually in Retribution.
All right, can you guys hear me or what?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now I can change it to Psycho. I
was
almost
having-
forgot about that. I had so much else going on. I was like, I didn't change the name.
I actually have to change mine to Caleb for my son tomorrow, so he doesn't see. He's in high school, so his first period teacher let him in and let it slide with my name on the bottom. The rest of his teachers wouldn't let him in his classes because he didn't know how to change. He didn't know how to change the name, and they didn't know.
That is funny.
So it has to say Caleb
Okay.
and my last name.
That's funny too, Brucey, but nothing is funnier than what Stu just called me for the Retribution name, Cheesesteak Destroyer. That's a fact though, homie. I'm not even gonna cover that up. Like I will fuck a cheesesteak.
Ain't no lie. No lie
A
found.
Philly cheesesteak right now would just you gonna eat that?
So I'm kind of sad.
Oh,
Like I
and-
lost my grandma glasses, and I honestly don't know.
Oh
where I
no,
left
she
them.
left him in the clink.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so.
Only glasses
Oh.
I have near me are
Well,
these outlandish ones.
As you
you go.
got wow, those are wow, those are some grandma sunnies right there.
I
Now,
always
as
have
you-
ridiculous sunnies.
now that Wendy's out the clink and Brucey's with us, and you know it's kind of been a weird day, but a special one at the same time. I thought let's not start the show with our regular ass intro because today is a special day. Today we celebrate the birthday of a great man, a great friend, a great family member. Because honestly, like fam to all of us,
He really is.
and a great artist and MC. Today is our man Scorsese Lord Jones' birthday.
Yes.
So today we're gonna play the show in with a new song off the freshly released this morning album Midnight Express from Griffin Scorsese. And we are gonna get this shit going. Happy birthday, my
yeah.
homeboy. We
Woo.
love you. Let's bump this shit and let's do it.
In the course of the climb to the Midnight Expresses to the World Tag Team Championship, you'd be surprised at the number of goofs and idiots we run across. Jimmy Bay and Rocky King call themselves street people.
Yeah. Harder, harder, more flyer with the stick talk. My wrist frost colder than December in the Arctic. Mr. Side way I'm sunning you around.
Yeah.
Honey, swear you wanted to keep the flavor.
Let's
I'm
go!
on the grind, four, plus a couple Lakers. Tape, that's the mustard seed. I spit disease. The human leper, living weapon, twin magic. You're more Bella, bitch. A bird fly 11 for shiny carrots. Ride the carousel of death twirling. Duck and dodge is where you feel the devil's breath.
Oh, I can listen listen to that all night. We're just gonna give him a taste. The rest you gotta
Right?
find on Spotify, on Bandcamp, on Apple Music, everywhere. Midnight Express. Go cop it. Go listen.
Everywhere.
Eight tracks, all of them fire. I might even play us out with another one. You don't know. That was Death to Smoking.
I'm super excited because I actually ordered the white vinyl with the red splatters.
Oh, I want that.
I cannot wait till it arrives. When it shows up,
I'm hoping
playing that bad boy.
I'm hoping there's enough left till Friday because I gotta get.
Oh, there should be.
I gotta get that. I got my record player right here.
Let me give some hellos to everybody. Hello, Felipe. Mwah.
Mhm.
Kirby, soulmate. How are you? Mwah. And my beloved big brother, Alvarito. Mwah.
Yeah,
How
we
are
were
you,
talking
big guy
a little
from
bit.
Colorado?
Where this is legal. No, I'm playing. It's just a cigarette.
Oh, Stewie, what's going on? He calls me Grammy. Ah.
Stu. No, we have a big live audience in the house. We finally have the TRWT3 in the house.
We do.
And so, fuck it. I know Bruce usually does this, but I'm already doing it. So here we go. Welcome into Top Rope Wrestling Talk. And I am finally happy to be joined fresh out of Facebook jail and fresh on your screens by the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling, Latina Heat herself, the one, the only, Grandma Wendy.
Viva la raza! If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mamacita.
From Nick Aldis. Look, it's still got the globe and everything. Ooh.
Wrong side. Wrong side.
Damn mirror images. And of course, no episode would be complete without the man, the myth, the founder, Pat Fiddle's cousin, the MJF Mark, the one, the only, the high class one. I haven't done this in so long. Bruce.
There we go.
Made up for lost time.
I'm better than you.
Yes,
And he
I
knows.
am.
And
Oh,
he knows.
yes, I
And he
do.
knows it.
And of course, I already popped myself, but I would do it one more time. You know me. I'm the soundboard extraordinaire, the producer, the master impressionist, the jack of all trades, the master of absolutely none. Dumb.
Hey, damn, that's a cold ass honky.
And I am.
You know what I just realized? Like before we
What did you realize?
just kick into wrestling, like we've kind of made like what I do at the end of my entrance stuff like a thing. Like you wait for me to say yes I am, and then you say your thing. Like it just came out of nowhere. Like it just
Yeah.
happened.
And then it just became a thing. It was like me at the beginning with the hey-ohs, and then it just kind of faded out. It evolves, it grows. So welcome everybody.
Yes.
Again, happy birthday, Lord Scorsese, Lord Jones. We
Happy
love
birthday, bro.
fam. I'm hoping that album is selling like hotcakes right now because it's fine.
I was listening to it in the car on the drive home after running my evening errand. Fire. It's great.
Oh, it bumps in the car. I was listening to it on the way home too. I was like, oh, this is nice. I
might
feel
have
like
to.
back.
I'll probably download it on my phone this weekend.
Yeah, it's good. It's actual good shit. Not like Vince McMahon. This is actual good shit.
Like actual legitimate.
So
Yes.
I think we can move on from this, but do you guys have anything to add as far as Retribution is concerned?
Oh my dear God.
That about summed it up. Okay, next topic.
I don't. No. I've got stuff I want to say, but like me and Wendy both had the same reaction, so I didn't know if she would like to share her reaction first, and then I'll go second, or I should
Who
go
wants to
first.
be
please,
and
high
she'll go
class.
second.
I will
She's just
relinquish
happy
to
to
you,
be.
sir.
She's just happy to be fresh out.
So
Yeah.
let's get this straight. They took 4 of 3 that we know of. We don't really know because we haven't seen the face because of the hockey mask.
I know them all.
So I don't know the hockey mask, but in
That one is Shane Thorne, aka Slapjack.
don't say that again.
Such
Say-
a
just
terrible
name
name.
him.
Just say
Jesus.
Shane. But,
Shane Thorne.
like you took these amazing stars on their own, and you fucking changed everything about them. Like
Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly what I said.
I saw a meme on Facebook. I'm pretty sure it was probably in our group. It said it showed all 5 of them as NXT stars, and then it said, "Hey Vince, how can you screw up 5 NXT
I
call-ups?"
posted that.
Yeah.
And then it shows Retribution. Well,
She's Retribution.
And then a bunch of people laughing underneath.
It was the Impractical Jokers. I think it's
Impractical
yes, that's what
Jokers.
it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
That's what it was. The Impractical.
No, ruined their
Jokers.
careers.
Yeah,
No,
how you
ruin
gonna
their career. No, ruin 5 of their career. Ruin 5
Yep.
careers at once, and you just see Retribution, and then they're laughing underneath. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Like,
Guilty.
like the only 2 out of that group that should actually be on the main roster is Mia Yim and Dijakovic. Mercedes Martinez is good, but I don't think she'd fit. She wouldn't get much TV time
But you know,
on the
'Cause
main roster.
she doesn't fit the standard issue
Mhm.
pretty
It,
girl look. She has
I
that
had
real
been-
mean mug, and she looks rough
yeah.
and tough.
No,
and scary.
I had brought up the comment that Shooter made about Retribution in our Facebook group, which was, God, I've spent 20 years busting my butt. Could you imagine only to make it to WWE and have to change my name to something like Musket Buster?
Mika. Oh, sorry. guys.
What? Wow, isn't that everybody's dream? Like, take the name that I built for 20 years, trash it, and take on some crap ass wannabe great value
Yep.
DC Universe character in WWE.
Just shit on it entirely.
Like I can't believe
Totally
that.
giant shit.
I can't believe they did that to Mia Yim and Dijakovic. Like those 2
Yeah.
don't even
Mercedes,
deserve
too.
that.
Mercedes doesn't deserve it either. She has been everywhere, done everything. She's a vet. She's been in the PWI Top 500. She was in it this year. She does not deserve to be in that fucking faction like that.
The only reason why I say that she does because her style and her look already kind of fits.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I don't think they should have changed the names. So like, they should have just let them keep the
Ex-
names. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, if the big reveal was like, oh my god,
they
it's all
should
these
not have-
NXT superstars, it's Dijakovic and Mia Yim and this and that, it would have made them more legitimate than
And if-
T-Bar and Mace and Slapjack and
Slapnuts.
whatever the. I just read a
Dio
report-
Madden.
I just read a report saying that Mia Yim's name was supposed to be changed to Shatter, but they nixed that last minute, so it might not be. But again, Mia Yim.
I mean,
You know,
even Mia Yim, as she was
Shatter.
in NXT, if you'd have just left her as is, don't put that mask, just let her come in with that head baddie in charge, would have been fine. That would have worked out fine.
It
Yeah,
would've been perfect.
exactly. But no.
But going back to the NXT discussion from last week, I said it myself. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They had Keith Lee debuting on Raw, and all of a sudden now it was time to change everything. After 3 or 4 years of him building up a name and developing actually on NXT, it was time to change as soon as he got to Raw. Why? And again, with these guys, it's
Vince.
total transformation as soon as you hit a Raw roster. Why? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Your faction would be more legitimate and more badass if you would have just left these people the way they are and put them in a faction and put them in some hoodies.
Yep.
Like I mean, I know it's a dated reference now, but Aces and Eights. They didn't change anybody's
Perfect.
name.
One
They
of
just
my
came out in
favorite factions.
masks. And when they pulled the masks off and they revealed themselves, you're like, "Oh shit, it's Bully Ray and it's Mr. Anderson and it's this, and it's Gallows and it's this guy and it's that guy." And you were blown away because these guys were big names, and some of them had not been in Impact or hadn't been for a while, if at all. So when they popped out, you were like, "Oh shit, this is going to be good."
Yeah.
You could have done the same sort of thing with Retribution, and you dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's a pretty good place to leave it because I wish WWE would have.
Like the worst part is they could have still done it differently. That's all. I was starting to buy into the whole Retribution, and then they had their reveal.
Because
I was
even the interviews, like the voice boxes and kind of changing their voices in the interviews backstage, that was kind of Aces and Eights too, because you had a lot of that leading up to their reveal, and you thought, "Oh, this is going to be great." Like, I know who they are already, but or at least who a few of them are. So when they come out and you see who they are, it's going to be this big moment, just like Aces and Eights, and then it just wasn't.
It's really
And people-
frustrating seeing WWE trying to take what other promotions did, and instead of like elevating it or making it a little better or changing it for, I don't know, in a good way, they just shit on it. They just make it
They
worse.
just fucking break it.
They just fuck it up. It's
just
like
break that
copying
shit
off of
off,
someone
man.
else's test. Yeah, it's like copying off of someone else's test and still failing the test and then passing it. And you're like, how did I get an F and you got an A? Like, this doesn't make. I copied off of you, man. Doesn't
Well, you
make any
must suck
sense.
at copying my answers. That's all.
Apparently.
So Stu made a really good point. He said, okay, they made Ronnie Garvin a lumberjack, Barry Windham some sort of stalker,
Boo.
Shane Douglas a professor. The list goes on. Yeah,
Mhm.
they've fucked some.
Oh,
pretty
don't get me
names.
started. Like William Regal and his lumberjack. He had a lumberjack kind of manly
He was-
man bullshit.
He was a working man's man.
he was the
He's
man's man.
man, but he came out like flannel and like
That was the
thermal.
best.
the hard hat under the arm
Yep,
or on his head.
It's like it
Poor
came off
Regal.
It's like it came off an
Oh, man.
I-beam on a skyscraper that they were building and walked into a wrestling ring. It's like, come on, man, he's William Regal. You don't need to do all this shit. And they're still doing it all these years later. But yeah, I mean, and you know, speaking of Impact, if we can, I mean, the matches themselves were good, but those vignettes that they had on last week's show on Tuesday were fucking amazing. Like the
Oh, and I
Heath
missed it.
Impact, where well, I sent you the Heath for
Oh, I saw the Heath.
Oh,
The
I
Heath
saw
was
Heath.
hysterical.
Oh my god, the whole thing where he kind of digs at WWE. He's like, I used to have a last name, but now a billionaire keeps it in a vault. And then he had the cameo appearances one after the other. It was the Hoff, it was Chuck Norris, it was all kinds of friggin' people trying to tell people to give Heath a job. I loved absolutely every second of it, and of course we had EC3 fucking with Moose Moore, and what is any better than EC3 fucking with somebody right now the way that he does? Just the projection pops up, he cuts a crazy ass promo, he warns somebody, he disappears, Moose is losing his damn mind.
Yeah.
I mean, EC3's been cutting some of the most majestic of promos, man.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's so like even Heath has definitely got me like engaged. You know, I'm probably more into Heath now than I ever was in his entire WWE career, because it's just so funny to see him like cut these promos and get these guys on cameos and do all this crazy shit.
Was it you, Brucey, who said like it's basically a repeat of his I've got kids into WWE?
Yep.
Do you think Impact is doing it better, or is it just basically the same shit?
I mean, I just think it's the same shit. It's just done a little differently. I don't think it helps him. It doesn't.
No.
And you know, like I said, and when we were talking about it, he had a chance to reboot his character, a total reboot, and do it differently.
Like EC3 did?
Exactly. But he decided, and Impact decided, hey, we're gonna run with this WWE stuff. Like,
But I gotta tell you though, I think it's so much better than what they did in WWE. For one thing, he didn't just mention he has kids. His kids were in the freaking vignette. It was the first time you saw. How many times have you heard him say, I've got kids over the years in WWE? And then you finally saw them on Impact. You never did once in WWE. Not once in years. They
Well, in
were-
WWE, he kept being like, I have 2 kids, I have 4, I have 8, I have 20 kids.
yeah.
It became like a
now-
running, like a
now
bad
he's
running
being-
joke.
Now he's being real with you. And he's like, no, I have 2 kids. Here they are. And they're going to tell you why I need a job.
Patty, can we have a slide for the pool?
I don't know. Can we?
Can we?
I don't know.
This is what it was supposed to be when he was someplace else, and I think they've
I'm
taken it to a whole other level. Even Tennille Dashwood kind of making fun of the Emelina gimmick before coming out and beating Jordan Grace on Impact on Tuesday, I thought was amazing, because even though she hated the character, she's like, all right, let's do it up. Let's just mock the shit out of these people and let's make me something and prove them wrong. And I think anytime somebody wants to prove WWE wrong, I'm right there supporting them.
Now, here's my next question. Playing off of this same stuff that we were just talking about,
Okay.
what makes it okay for Impact to take WWE storylines and twist them and change them, but AEW gets shit on?
Well, I don't do that.
I'm just saying, like,
What's the
I
thing?
see
I'm
what
not.
you're saying. I get
I
what you're
see what
saying.
you're saying.
Okay. It's
I
not
see
okay.
what you're saying, but I'm not in that.
everyone's-
I'm not in that
I
boat
think-
with these people. I don't
Well,
give a shit.
okay,
who
okay.
does
Can
what,
I?
where.
Can I? Okay. Here's what I think. I think what it is. It's just because AEW is the obvious contender or rival with WWE. That's who people pick on. Impact has its own time slot on its own day, and a lot of people don't see it as a threat. They just see it as another promotion that's trying. It's a small fish trying to swim with the big ones, so they don't see it as a threat. So they couldn't care less about what Impact does with whomever. Whereas AEW is being seen as a big fish swimming with another, trying to swim with another big fish. You know, I think that's what it is. And if people don't see
True.
it as a big fish, if they see it, they just see it as someone trying to be a big guy. They still see it as the bigger competitor, even
That's
though
very
when you
true.
think about it, all across the board, it is competition because they're all in the same business. I'm sorry, WWE is in the sports entertainment business. My
Well,
bad.
all but WWE are in the same business, and you know, the thing that sets it apart for me is at least when they do it, they find a new entertaining way to do it, whereas WWE gives you retribution. You know, like they should have the formula for a faction. They can't get that right. Meanwhile, Impact is saying, well, we know this was done, but it was never quite done right. Let's take it, let's work with it, let's put it out there, and let's make it as entertaining as it could possibly be. And that's exactly what they're doing with guys like Heath, with Tennille Dashwood, with a few other people. And I don't really mind when AEW does it either. I just agree with Wendy. I think maybe people bash them because A, they haven't been around as long. B, they're now the biggest competition to WWE there is. And C, it, you know, you go back to that theory that we always, they have so many WWE guys, whereas Impact has a lot of their own talent, and then they just pepper in a few of their own here, there, and everywhere. I mean, they even had Brian Myers talking shit on Tommy Dreamer on Impact about how Tommy was his age when he signed him in the first place and brought up all this WWE stuff. But it led to really good, really, you know, kind of dramatic television. So I don't give a shit what you use at that point because it beat the hell out of Raw as far as I'm concerned.
It's one thing to talk about the company, but this, like, I don't know, this really bothers me for some reason, and I don't know why. Basically, what happened is because you said Impact took it and did it better, but Impact had the blueprint already of what not to do. So
Right.
they almost had a cheat sheet. So they've seen it done once, like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do it that way, but I'm gonna take that story and do it my way. It's like forging a paper and changing 3 words. It's like, here, copy my homework, but get a couple wrong.
But make it a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this lately, but cheating in wrestling works. It worked for Moxley.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Made Eddie Guerrero a superstar, a legendary superstar. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Impact is trying.
I think
WWE.
also AEW and WWE constantly cheap shot each other with jokes here and there, with things that they say. Other promotions, they're not so direct with things. I mean, come on. What's his name? Stone or whatever in NXT is supposed
Robert
to be
Stone.
making fun. Thank you. Is supposed to be making fun of Tony Khan. Miro comes out and he's like, F your glass ceilings, you know who. Eddie Kingston's like, I didn't sell my soul like this other dude. So, you know, these two are taking cheap shots at each other, whereas
Right.
everyone else is like, okay, we see what they're doing. Like Brucey said, we have these blueprints, and we're not on their radar. So let's just
Right.
do it.
And not only that, the biggest thing is like when you look at Brian Myers, or you look at Heath, or you look at EC3, they didn't go and like talk as Jericho or some big show and whine about their time in WWE. Instead, they went someplace else and they turned it into a joke and they made it entertaining. I would rather watch that than have to sit around and listen to the same Vince is holding me back, system broken, blah, 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 bullshit interview every time somebody leaves WWE. So if you're going to give me the choice between one or the other, I'll take what Impact's doing. Like if you were going to give me the choice between Impact's knockout division and anyone from WWE or NXT or even AEW, I'll take the knockouts division because they could pretty much cremate everybody. I'll take this over the same old oh, I was there and I hated it, and I was making a ton of money, but I hated it, and they kept asking me to do dumb shit, and I hated it. It's like I've heard that over and over and over again since Moxley. I'd rather watch Heath's Vignette. It was funny. It was entertaining. It had Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
It wasn't just somebody sitting around for 90 minutes whining.
It
I'll
had
take
David
that any day.
Hasselhoff
It had David Hasselhoff, for Christ's sake. They broke the Hall.
doing the whole kit thing.
Yeah, without a watch on his wrist, by the way. He was
Yes,
just,
yes. It was just,
Kit, can you get Heath a job?
it was great. It was great. No, I think definitely, yeah. That's most likely what it is. Like a lot of these other promotions aren't on the radar, so they're able to do it and get away with it. Because not only are they not on the big boys' radar, they're not on the fans' radars. Because the fans are like, okay, Impact exists, but the Wednesday Night Wars, what's gonna happen?
I think I don't know if we brought up here or just a Facebook group, but the Impact title is actually, and Impact itself is not even recognized by PWI, which I think is total bullshit. Like if AEW
never
has
has been.
been. It was before Dixie Carter, and it hasn't been since. But if you're going to recognize AEW's championships, you damn sure should, and MLW's, you should include Impacts. That's just fucking ridiculous. Now we did have a random question from Chris on Facebook, which I thought would be nice to throw in here, and he had asked us the other day when Wendy and I went on for the lunch break catfish episode.
Oh, that's right.
Which of these is more likely to happen? A, Vince retires. B, the Cowboys make it past the second round of the playoffs. C, AEW forms an official partnership with companies like New Japan, Rev Pro, Ring of Honor, etc.
Option C. I see that happening first.
Yeah,
I see it. I see it in this order. I see it. C, B, A is never gonna happen. The old man's gonna die at his
Vince
desk.
is
He's
die,
gonna be
so
there.
A will
He's
never
not even.
happen.
He doesn't even use a computer. He like writes his notes. So he's gonna be writing, and then he's just gonna stop, and he's just gonna like shut down entirely.
The Cowboys will not make it to the second round of the playoffs. Sorry, Wendy. Sorry.
We have a higher chance of doing that than Vince ever retiring, and he never said this year.
True.
So.
True, but Vince's chances are zero, so you have a greater than zero chance. So I'm
still a chance.
God, no chance.
She's like, no chance in hell. Come on, come get it. So I'm gonna go with option C as well. I think AEW's already reached out and worked with Thunder Rosa from the NWA.
Yes.
They've gone to Japan. They've worked there. They're trying to facilitate something the other way around. I think we're going to see AEW partnered up with a few other promotions before anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And New Japan will be the last one.
Yeah.
They'll be the very end.
So we can finally see Tanahashi walk through the forbidden door.
The forbidden door.
I did that just because I knew Wendy would laugh her ass off. I needed to give Wendy a laugh after the whole jail situation. So
they're already working. They're already working with AAA. Kenny's still the what is it? The grand champion down there in AAA. He hasn't lost the title. He won.
Oh, that's
the
right,
title.
because they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe he's still their mega champion.
Who is?
Kenny Omega
with AAA.
Oh, that's right. He is. Yeah.
He beat Phoenix for that title, and I don't think he ever lost it. So they're working with AAA already. They've got Thunder Rosa in the door. They've been going to Japan with guys like Moxley and Jericho. So I see that one happening before either two. Vince retiring is never going to happen. He will die first. He's never leaving, unfortunately.
We're supposed to be getting FTR versus North soon.
Well, we were until they signed their official contracts, and now it's a little bit more murky because they were there kind of like EC3 as an Impact and that kind of as a free agent. They weren't officially signed. Now they're officially signed, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I want it to, but I don't know. Speaking of AEW, I know this is jumping ahead a little bit, but I guess we have to discuss the return of Cody Rhodes. Oh my God, it's more. Hi, Demon. Oh,
go to bed, dude. Love you.
Yeah, after a great match with Brody Lee and Orange Cassidy, which ended with Cassidy getting the pulp knocked out of him. We saw this dark, spooky intro with Cody's music playing, and then all of a sudden he popped up. And it turns out Brody Lee really did clothesline the blonde right out of that boy's hair because he was just it was the worst dye job ever, but he was just jet black.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay, like real quick, Brad Mondo lesson. I'm gonna call these Brad Mondo lessons from now on. When you go
Which work?
from blonde to black, it's gonna look bad and it's gonna look really obvious. His looked like shoe polish. Like he just
It really
took
did.
a damn like one of those old school ones that has the little
Kiwi.
sponge on the bottom, and then just
Yeah.
like went in there stripe by stripe.
Oh my
It was bad.
God.
You should have been more subtle about it, Cody.
I mean,
Just
like
saying.
he looked like he was going through a midlife crisis harder than QT Marshall. He really did with that hair. That was and the tattoo. That was bad.
Bruh, the memes that came out of it, like
The
the
memes,
emo
though.
Cody,
Oh.
the Sith Lord Cody, that
The-
one killed me.
The
Died.
Spider-Man one from Spider-Man 3.
Yes. Emperor Cody
Oh.
team. you mean?
All of
like,
those.
like,
Oh.
like, here's my thing. Like, the entire wrestling world, like, was finally okay with the bleached blonde hair like his father had. Like everyone was okay with it now.
I loved
Like,
it from the start.
I mean, I liked it too, but like, you know, you have the Muppets that don't or didn't when it happened. Yeah, I agree, Wendy, but
Such
but
a
I
lady.
mean, everyone just, you know, they got used to it. It was there, and now it's like, oh, bam! Look at me.
I was like,
It was.
It was definitely shocking. I'll give them that. And
Yeah.
and he was definitely a lot more dominant. At least he got a few moves in on Brody before Brody ran for his life. That was the
I never
funniest
seen a
part
big
of
man
it.
run that fast.
The funniest part was afterwards where Brody grabs the mic from Dasha and he's talking about Cody
He's like-
being a coward. Yeah, and my big man is winded from running from Cody like a freaking girl.
He
You had
played.
faster than Usain Bolt.
He
Right.
played that so well. It was
he
awesome.
he ran
He
like
really
me. He ran like me when somebody says there's free Philly cheesesteaks down the corner.
Nah.
Like I just want certain companies to like take that moment minus the hair, just pretend it was blonde in your mind, and that's how you let someone return.
Yes.
Yes.
Even if
I
it was
joke about the
only
hair.
a few weeks, that's how you let someone make a return.
I joke
like-
about the hair, but the return itself
Was
Return
awesome.
was pretty
amazing.
sick.
It was great.
I was shocked.
I'm not gonna go so far as to say I was shocked. I was just like, oh damn, okay. And I did not realize it'd only been 5 weeks though. I don't know why in my mind it'd been like 3 months. And
Because
they're
the
like,
way-
you've
Me
been away
too.
for 5 weeks. And then when Brody was like complaining, I've been working for 5 weeks. I'm like, bitch, it's only 5 weeks. It had been 3 months. It hasn't been a whole ass quarantine.
Catch your breath before you take that mic, boy. You stop running from Cody Rhodes.
You know,
5
it-
ass weeks.
and like that goes back to something that we've talked about like since AEW's like very first conception was shit. I can't believe it. It's almost been a year ago that we talked about this. Like
Right?
AEW's good at making you miss somebody,
Mhm.
Yes.
They are. They're
and
quite
that's
good
how
at it.
that's
and
how
they
they
did it with
get
Cody.
away. That's how they get away with not having their big names on every show.
I gotta
Because
be honest. I think I would have missed Cody even more if they hadn't put on that whack ass commercial for the big show.
I'm still mad about that.
I am too.
isn't that on tonight?
I don't know.
I think so.
I think
I don't
it is.
even
Or
know.
was
It
all
makes
on
me
I
last-
so
know-
angry.
All I know is I'm
So
missing
angry.
football. That's all I know. Thank God it's just Jags and Dolphins.
I was gonna say. Jags and
I mean, I do
Dolphins.
like.
I mean,
I do.
go
I've
Jags.
kind of go Jags.
Yeah.
Yes.
AEW, go Jags.
I was gonna say I've kind of become a Jags fan. Just
Tony
because
Khan.
I love AEW and Tony Khan, and so I'm kind of like a pseudo Jags fan now. But
I like me.
Going back to Cody real quick. Brian just asked, "Hi Brian. I wonder what's worse, Cody's black hair dye or his neck tattoo?
neck tattoo.
Because that's permanent. That's
Any-
on there
any
forever.
Any option ever about Cody that involves the neck tattoo? The answer is neck tattoo.
The only way that's not going to be the answer is if he gets another bad neck tattoo. Then it
On
becomes
the other
which
side?
neck tattoo is worse. You know.
Did you guys not see his sparkly shoes?
I did. I kind of liked him.
I did, and I like him a lot. But
I gotta
I'm
say,
tacky as fuck.
I think
so.
so am I. So I think one of these
Wendy.
episodes,
Same.
Grandma Wendy and I need to rock matching private party
We
leopard
do.
jumpsuits
We really
with those
do.
sparkly ass shoes and just
Oh my God, yes.
pimp. Be like, oh, Brucey thinks he's better than us.
Oh, I
Like,
am.
really? What? Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Look who's rocking
Oh,
cheetah.
Would you prefer? Guess what, motherfuckers? That's more my stream right there.
I'm back, bitch.
Oh my
Love
God.
it. Love it.
Where,
Watch, we're
Where
gonna
did-
wake up
where
tomorrow.
did
We're
this
all
all
gonna be in
start from?
Facebook jail for what we said here. I
All
don't know
of
why.
us.
I don't know
I'm
why.
gonna shock the world. I'm gonna dye my beard jet black.
Bro, I'm gonna
Ooh.
die. I'm gonna die laughing. Oh my God.
You know
I
what?
would
Not
do
only
it for like
okay,
one episode, then
official.
I'd have to shave it all off.
cheetah tracksuit, and I'm gonna put dye little cheetah print in my beard,
Yes.
like little blonde cheetah marks.
But now that we mentioned private party, can we discuss those voices real quick?
What? Why? Because it
Yeah,
sounds
I
like
don't-
their
Teenagers?
balls haven't dropped yet.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, I've heard 12-year-old girls with deeper voices. Like
From a location.
what?
From a location where you can't ever use masturbation.
It was odd.
The
I don't know why
prepubescent
I had never paid attention to their voices until last night, and it was just like, no man
Okay.
party. I was like,
Now I know I might
Yeah.
catch some hate for this, but my son loves it, so I am forced to watch a shot of brandy. And Private Party was on there, so I'd heard them
Okay.
before. And when I first heard them, I was like, "Wait, that's them? Like that's not like a voiceover. There's not like little kids running around behind them. Like that's just them." Okay, weird. And so when I heard them last night, I was ready for it, but Grandma Wendy was not. And she
I don't know
asked,
how.
the
I've
question
spaced.
in our discussion thread, like, why does it sound like Private Party's balls haven't dropped? And I think me and about 4 or 5 other people at the same time responded because they haven't.
Because they have.
Like all at the same time, like just now. It was amazing. I think Stu was one of them. Shout out. But it was like Stu, Peter, me, and a few other guys all responded
Everybody, y'all
right
came out of
after
the
she put it up
woodworks.
because they haven't. I mean, they're
I was like, that
great.
makes
They're
sense,
great
actually.
young talent. They're great young talent. Emphasis on young.
Marco has a deeper voice.
On
Oh my
young.
God. He sounds like a 6-year-old.
I
Because he
swear to you.
is.
I swear to you guys, this hat is probably older than Private Party put together. So
I know this hoodie's much older than all of them.
young. Like, you know, and I'm sure, I don't know if Brucey agree with me, but I'm sure we're just hating because, like, I'm sure Brucey and I wish we were that age again. Like I don't want to be 40. Can I go back? Can I be?
Please, God. Yes.
Let me. Oh, God, it was so much nicer. I didn't have all these aches. Like, I'm sitting here with a crook in my neck that I can't get
Look.
out.
Look, I'll even wear the suit jacket with the tails if I have to.
I will rock those capris if I'm 20 something. I'm not even gonna sweat it. My calves are gonna look ridiculous. My calves were like crazy. I bully Ray calves in my 20s. They were just calfzillas. Wow. And so I'll
Those
rock
capris
those.
are so. You know, at my height, if I put those capris on, they'd be pants.
I was thinking it. I didn't want to say it, but I was
Oh.
thinking it.
Oh, I know this from experience.
Oh
Trust
my
and
God.
believe.
Right.
Yep.
Let's bounce around a little bit because
Do it.
Wendy brought up the fact before we came on air, before she got out of Facebook jail, that
I know I'm still in Facebook jail.
NWA has this week alone has lost the Cowboy James Storm and Royce Isaacs. So one half of the tag team champions, the other half of Wild Cards, and a member of Strictly Business. And she and a few other people were wondering, like, what's next for these people. I gotta be honest. I think we should start with James Storm, and I know this is gonna be the easy answer. I'm not trying to take the easy way out, but I also know that Bobby Roode has been said has said he is coming back to WWE TV. What if we get Beer Money in WWE?
I don't want to see it.
I would rather
I don't.
personally, I would rather personally have Bobby Roode leave and get a Beer Money reunion in like Impact where the Guns are back and the Good Brothers are there and the North and all that. Their tag division, again, I know, I'm sorry, I hate to keep bringing it up, but their tag division has built in leaps and bounds.
They have a solid tag division.
They're really putting together a solid tag division, and they're bringing guys back in that were once there. So bringing back Beer Money would be huge for them. It would it might help put them back on the map. So I would like that. I see Grandma Wendy Eaton, so I'm gonna go to Brucey next. Where do you think Beer Money should end up? And I will be right back.
I don't even think Beer Money's gonna end up together, and if they end up on WWE together, like it's not gonna work. It won't work because it's a tag team and they hate tag teams. I'd like to see Storm go to AEW, even if it is for a short stint, or like what Thunder Rosa's doing. I'd love to see him in action there. But I could see him going back to Impact too. I'd rather see him in AEW because I want to see a tag team of Cowboy and Cowboy. You know,
you get the tag team of beer and liquor.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like I want him and Adam Page together, even if it's just a brief thing.
The tag
have
team
a tag
name.
team cowboy shit. I would.
I was just about to say that the tag team name could be some cowboy shit.
It has to be. There's no other choice. I just want to hear JR say over and over, "That's some cowboy shit."
That's some cowboy shit right there, by God.
Love it.
No, that's good. That's good. No, Royce Isaacs is a little bit more difficult because I mean, I hadn't really followed him before NWA, and obviously in it, he was a half of a tag team. He was part of Strictly Business. He had that relationship with whatever her name was, Liz Valentine or whatever the heck her weird ass name was, that vlogger.
Dude, that was for like 2 episodes.
It was more than 2.
It's like a month.
It was like
4.
It was like most of the time they were on air.
Yeah,
but you know, it's like looking at what's next for him. I don't know. Maybe MLW and mess around in the middleweight division a little bit. Like build yourself up outside of your tag team and your faction and kind of make a name for yourself. Jump from there. I mean, I don't think any of us are going to say this guy's ready for like AEW, NXT, WWE.
I could see him going to Impact. I could actually see him going to Japan as well. Mm. He's got that style for Japan.
He definitely does. He definitely does. I mean, I guess he could always follow behind like Rock and Roll Express and give them their meds. That's an option.
Are you guys concerned about the talent that's leaving NWA? And
not entirely.
Not so.
I mean,
much.
I understand the why of it, but I can also see
James Storm hurts because he's such a big name, and he did so many things for Power. You know, even the 2 out of 3 falls match with all this, the tag team titles with Eli Drake, but it also those two, like him leaving, splits that tag team up kind of the same way that Hangman and Kenny split up in AEW. And those two are better as singles competitors, or at least Eli Drake is, let's be honest. So to get him back in the singles push, to get James Storm maybe somewhere else or in another tag team, where he has the opportunity to succeed, seems like a win-win for both of them. Royce Isaacs is one of those ones where I didn't want to say Impact again because I've talked about them a lot and I can't help it. I'm kind of falling in love with them all over again. But I could definitely see him like MLW fighting for the middleweight title against like Myron Reed, or kind of putting his own little clique together and going after Injustice because I hate those people. So if Royce Isaacs wants to kick their ass, I'm all for it.
Injustice.
Those little wanksters I could stomp on in 5 seconds and beat all 3. Just done.
Now let's look at this in a long shot way.
Okay.
What if he's actually part of MJF's new faction?
Well, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up, because we once again saw a meeting of two of the biggest heels in not just AEW but all of pro wrestling last night with Jericho and MJF, and they seemed to
great.
hash a lot of things out. And this was after MJF saying he maybe he doesn't need to be a lone wolf, maybe he needs a pack. It's looking more and more like the Inner Circle is his pack.
No, it's not.
No.
Stop with that shit.
No.
Here we go again.
Stop
These
with
two
it.
are gonna go, no.
No,
And I'm just gonna
no.
sit here like, I told you. Remember Moxley, my friends. I told you.
I can see them having an amicable relationship in that they would
Yes.
help each other from time to time. I don't see them uniting forces though and being part of a single group.
But hey, it might make up for LA for Santana and Ortiz leaving to go with Kingston.
I so want to see my storyline happen for once in my life.
I
want-
needs that kid a Christmas moment.
I really want MJF to get another title shot, and Wardlow really seriously costs him the title this time.
That would
Like
be-
kicks MJF in the head, and Moxley gets a pin.
well, technically,
like-
it cost him the first time.
And no, like an over the top, like fuck you type of way. And
Mhm.
and
Oh,
then
yeah,
and the
okay.
and the next night on Dynamite, have
Like I'm tired of this shit
MJF
with.
MJF just berating him and barraging him in the ring. Remember, I pay you. And then out of nowhere, Hammerstone comes from outside and jumps him and starts kicking the shit out of him. And out comes Holiday with a contract.
He just wants
From
Hammer. He just
his
wants Hammer
father.
in AEW.
His father, the lawyer, giving
His father
MJF
/ lawyer.
slash lawyer, giving MJF another title match.
Who I think we saw in AEW working for
Writes
MJF.
itself.
It does. It does, but it wrote itself
You know
already
why?
in MLW. So we, don't get too caught up in it.
But
No,
you know
it's
why? I think Bruce's storyline makes more sense than yours, Dom. I'm sorry, I had mine all vertically, so Dom is like right above me and Bruce is right below me, so it's almost Brady Bunchy. But here's why I think MJF is not a follower, so I don't think he would be in the Inner Circle. If he did join it, he would figure out a way to kick Jericho out and take over himself.
I mean, he was kind of a follower in the Dynasty.
Well, in AEW, he doesn't have that dynamic or personality. Like that's not what he's played up to be.
We
Yeah.
shall see. But it just looked by the end of that, back and forth, Jericho and MJF looked a little cozy. That's all I'm saying.
Not gonna happen.
I'm with Brian on this. I would love to see Wardlow put MJF in the damn torture rack.
Ooh, yes. Brucey would hate us all, but yes.
yes.
But yes, that would be good too. Oh man, let's see. Oh god, and of course we have to discuss the brutality that was Kingston versus Moxley.
Fucking hey, that was amazing.
And the chaos that ensued. That match itself. I mean, Moxley's chest was like 9 shades of purple. So was Kingston's back for some reason.
Oh my
I don't know why,
God.
but that was horrible. He had like this big
That
blurple.
blurple ass bruise.
Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah.
ow!
Yeah.
I have had
know
one of
what?
those. That's blood. That like when it's that dark, that's blood.
Yeah. And knowing the past, their styles in the past and where they've come from and the roads they've taken, and knowing that Mox has wrestled in Puerto Rico of all places, where they'll stick you with a fork for fun.
Right.
I would love, and being the horrible, bloodlusty fiend that I am, I would
Okay. Cool.
love to see a gnarly death match between those two.
Yes.
Like just get disgusting and
Yes,
gnarly.
a
bring out the
barbed
most
wire match.
Fucked up things.
Like I know
Bring
we
out the
haven't
light tubes. Oh,
we
the
haven't
light
talked
tubes.
about the match, but Cody and Brody are having a dog collar match coming up, which could be brutal.
Yes.
Mhm.
So why? So after that, somewhere down the line, doesn't have to be at the next pay-per-view, but somewhere on a Dynamite, cut to another location, have like a barbed wire match where you just surround a ring, old school ECW deathmatch style in barbed wire, and you let these two go nuts. It would be art. Sadistic, psychotic, brutal, bloody art.
Give me that ECW, CZW blood and hate and rage. Give me the light tubes, the kendo sticks, the chairs, the tables, the barbed wire. Throw in some C4 like the Japanese do. Let's get nasty. I love it.
Yes. This is why I love Grandma. This is why I love Grandma.
Surprise, Bruce. I love me a death match. Oh my God.
Who doesn't?
I follow an account on Twitter that was sent to, or not Twitter, Instagram that was sent to me, and it's nothing but deathmatch stuff.
So
and I'll sit there for hours.
I'm so hyped listening to what Grandma Wendy was saying. I want to go through a flaming table right now.
Right?
Like I like matches like that, but it's like sometimes I'm just like, no, it's too much.
Yeah,
like
that's why I love them, because it's so damn much.
I get it. Like, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch some. I love matches like that, but like sometimes I see shit and I'm just like, no. No, like why?
Not
why?
me.
Why do you want him to run you over with a lawnmower? Like why?
The motor of lawn.
Why? Like
because we can, so we do.
Because he can. Exactly.
No
Do we
way.
I'm like, no, do it.
Do we need to use that construction tool that's meant to put up drywall that, like, you put it right in the forehead and go right in there? No, but we can.
But we do.
So we do.
Do we need to use a drill in the middle of a wrestling match? No, but it's been done. did like Jimmy Havoc or Shotzi Blackheart at NXT need to staple things to themselves? No, but it was great.
But they did.
And they did that shit.
I don't know. I guess we've hit our first like.
Think back to all the Cracker Barrel clashes on AEW shows. It's like, did they really need to have those matches? No, but they were great.
But they did.
If it weren't for those kind of matches, Jelly wouldn't have a career, and I would be sad. So we need those matches. There would be no high-class Jersey trash. I can't live without that.
No. They have a new name. They're called, and Janela named them to, well, Sonny obviously was in on it too, to take a jab at Cornette. They are now called the New Midnight Express.
Oh.
That's why he filed that cease and desist. Okay.
Love it. Isn't it funny that I played that song and Corny was in it from the Midnight Express? And now we got this. It just feels so right. And of course, then we still had NXT last night. I know we talked about it going off the air the week before. We had the 20-woman gauntlet match. And Candice LeRae is your new number one contender, folks.
So what is an eliminator gauntlet match? Can someone explain this to me? Because I didn't watch NXT.
Okay. No, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain it real easy. You remember
because last time I thought a gauntlet match was...
Hold up. You remember the old school TNA match where they would have people come in every 2 minutes and start with like over the top, but then when it got down to the last two men, it was a one-on-one match?
Uh-huh.
Eliminate the over the top, and you've got this 5-way gauntlet eliminator. Everybody comes in every 2 minutes. Like you start with 2 guys. 3 more guys come in every couple of minutes, and you eliminate each other by pinfall or submission until one person is left standing. So it's like the TNA gauntlet match without the over the top.
That's stupid.
I know.
Wendy's over there putting on her makeup.
But our new number one contenders for the next takeover, which I believe is October 4th, if I'm not mistaken. But our new number one contenders are Candice LeRae and Kyle O'Reilly.
Okay.
Does anybody care?
I'm interested in Kyle O'Reilly because of his tag team and being part of Undisputed Era, where Adam Cole is the main champ. I mean,
I have to give some credit. I have to give some credit to our blue-haired homegirl Hope, who put the meme up today about how Kyle O'Reilly would be to Undisputed Era the way Randy Orton was to Evolution when he won the title, where he's just up on somebody's shoulders and you got thumbs down.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I could see that.
It would go the exact same way, but I just, again, it feels like I'm not saying Kyle O'Reilly doesn't have a chance against Finn Balor. I'm saying, would anybody in NXT be willing to take the belt off of Finn Balor right now and put it on Kyle O'Reilly?
Sure, why not?
Probably not.
Change it up.
But Finn
I mean,
literally
give
just
someone
won.
else a chance, honestly. Like, you left, you came back, and oh, excuse me, it already looks like you couldn't hack it. I'm
Let's
sorry,
see,
but that's
that
what it
we-
looks like. That's
we
what it looks
already
like to some
had-
It
people.
does. It does.
But-
And it's
but-
like, you know, to put the title back on him, even though he already had it. No, like let
I hear you.
the newer talent, let the people who have been there busting
hear
their
you.
humps.
But
Get it.
but hear me out. Let me give you another perspective. We just had Keith Lee win 2 titles and lose them all inside of a month. Finn Balor just won
A
the
month, a
title
week.
last. No, it was about a month. He won the NXT title. He gave up the North American title. 4 weeks later, he lost the NXT title and he went to Raw.
That's right.
So overall, he lost 2 titles in about a month. Finn Balor just won it last week. We've got another pay-per-view for NXT coming in 2 weeks. So after Adam Cole, the next 2 champions will be champion for a combined 7 weeks. It just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel like an NXT title run.
It doesn't. I mean,
Quick
you know,
turnover.
yeah, and obviously they had to give it to Finn because of what happened to Karrion Kross. That things would be much different if he did not separate his shoulder. I understand that, but you really want two champions following up Adam Cole in 7 weeks.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. And Candice LeRae will be getting another shot at EO at the next takeover for the women's championship. The thing that made me mad during that battle royal was that Rhea and Raquel Gonzalez eliminated each other at the same time.
I don't know
Really?
what happens to big people like that. It's just so
Yeah,
terrible.
Like
and I'm
like Raquel
that's the
picked
route
her
you're
up.
taking with them.
Raquel got her up to power bomber, and
Yeah.
and Rhea kind of reversed it, did a Hurricane Rana, and they both went over the top rope, and neither one of them could catch themselves, and they both fell off. And we had like 19 Kofi moments for Casey Catanzaro. Like
Doesn't
she
surprise
got
me.
eliminated, but she landed on her butt. Her feet aren't down, so now she's scooting on her butt to the ring steps, or she's walking along the guardrail and holding onto the plexiglass. It happens so many times. I think if you took a shot for every one of them, you'd need to go to the hospital at the end. And I'm guessing
That's
you know,
bad.
and I'm guessing that, you know, like when I asked, does anybody care? We're talking about this. I'm guessing that most people didn't, because looking at the ratings from last night, AEW brought in about 835,000. NXT was at 696.
What was T-Bar at?
Yeah, you saw that too, huh? T-Bar was at 1.6
1 million? Yeah.
1.67 million viewers, which
You T-Bar.
again, go back to the debut of Thunderdome on Raw, and they had 2.2 million. So T-Bar got 1.6. You do not want to be broadcasting that. You just don't.
No.
So again, WWE, we don't need gimmicks. We need storylines. We need things that we want to watch, that we want to be there for, that we want to see. We don't need these gimmicks. We don't need Thunderdomes and cinematic and all this other bullshit. And we also need these 2 shows as far as Wednesday night on different nights. Because while
Yeah.
it's not, again, it didn't really affect AEW that much. You know, they've kind of steadily gotten well over 800,000 since NXT came back. NXT went from almost 900,000 viewers 3 weeks ago down to 600,000 back-to-back weeks. Again,
Kadrian Retribution.
Almost a third of your audience. What did he say?
He said
Retribution
Retribution
is
is trash.
They talk way too much.
Hey, Kadrian, what's happening, man?
It's true.
They really are. We went all up into that at the beginning of this, but they really are. And it's the reason why Raw has fallen well below 2 million viewers again, because they both, SmackDown and Raw, were well over 2 million when Thunderdome started. And they have slowly but surely been dropping to now. T-Bar got a 1.67. Great. That's about
What?
600,000 less than when Thunderdome debuted.
What happens when they go below 1 million? What do you think's going to happen if
Do
they
you think?
and
do
they
you
stay
think it'll
steady?
happen?
But and I think they're going to eventually hit
Because
below a mil.
the lowest that Raw has gotten so far is about 1.5 million viewers.
I thought it got like 1.2 or no, it was like
No,
1.006.
No, I think you're thinking AEW at this point.
No,
Or
no, that
NXT.
was a Monday
Because-
Night Raw.
Raw's lowest rating is around 1.5 million viewers, and they got just a little bit more than that this Monday. So and again, that's 600,000 viewers gone since the debut of the Thunderdome, and you can blame it on football or you could do whatever you want, but it's them. It's them with this retribution stuff and these weird storylines and ninjas and all the other shit. You know,
Ninjas.
Braun. By the way, Brucey, I know you're gonna love this. Braun Strowman was on Raw Underground again.
Ooh, I want to talk about this. Oh my God, we got to talk
I
about
thought I was
this.
gonna make him mad. Go ahead.
I mean, it's stupid, but I've seen I've seen clips
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So what I'm starting to gather is like because Shane was on Raw the other night, like actually on Raw
On the
Raw.
KO show,
Mhm.
yes.
So it's sounding like Raw Underground is their story for the what is it? Dabo
Dabba-Kato.
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 Like it's
It was
like this is-
Babatunde. I don't know.
Babatunde, which in
And
I
now
can't
it's
remember what language-
Dabba-Kato.
I can't remember what language it is, but it means father come back.
Yeah, and now it's Dabba-Kato.
and it just seems like they're using that for his story because now they're slowly transitioning him to actually like being on Monday Night Raw. Like
There's definitely a
I don't
crossbreeding
know.
going on where you have like WWE superstars going to Raw Underground and vice versa. Because even Dabba-Kato popped out in the ring on the KO show and confronted Braun
He did,
Strowman
he
before
did.
their match. And the match itself wasn't half bad. I can't believe Dabba-Kato's bigger. Like taller, like like where they've been hiding this guy.
right?
It certainly wasn't in a ninja costume, I'll tell you that much.
Seriously.
Oh, and another beautiful question. Now that we're on Raw, it popped into my head. Colton had asked us, is Bruce Pritchard really a step up from, say, Vince Russo?
Can I say the answer that I gave you guys, or do I have to be
Absolutely.
or do I have to be PG about it?
Why would you have to be PG? Are we
Have
Raw?
I ever been fucking PG?
Look,
I said this isn't made for kids when we
Just
came
saying.
on, man.
I'm using my tagline. Honestly, Bruce
There it is.
Pritchard is no better than the only thing Bruce Pritchard's better at than Vince Russo. That's sucking dick.
Okay.
Because they're on the same level.
I was gonna say kissing ass, but okay, close enough. Same general region, just different sides of the
Different sides of the
Anatomy.
of the body.
yeah. Bruce Pritchard is Vince Russo with a yes man mentality.
Mhm,
Vince
mhm.
Russo was more like, fuck you, I'll do it my way, which
Yeah.
at least you gotta, okay, maybe his way sucks, but at least you gotta respect him for trying. Where Bruce, on the other hand, is like, whatever you want, Vince, I got it. You're the best. You're a genius. Come here. Mwah, mwah. I've been a lifelong member of the Kiss My Ass Club. I don't see what the problem is. Mwah, So no, I don't think he's a step up. I really don't. I think basically he brought in, if he was responsible for Raw Underground, he basically took that from Vince Russo. He was like, what if we took the Brawl for All and we stuck it in the back and we called it something else?
Listen,
It wasn't real.
We talked
Who was-
about them bringing back a version of Brawl for All, and this
And
is
here
what
it
we
is.
get.
I thought Fight Pit was going to be it, but instead it became Raw Underground. I would have rather had the Fight Pit. That shit was great.
Well, that was thought up. That was thought up on NXT, and Raw's too good for NXT.
Oh, okay. So this is another thing. When it goes from NXT to Raw, it gets flipped and it gets broke, and then they put it on TV.
This was actually I was discussing Raw Underground with our birthday boy Shelly, and he actually
Shells.
he made a solid point and made me kind of mad.
Uh-oh.
I was like, damn it. Letting these guys be tough guys without the Brawl for All setting works.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, it worked for Titus O'Neil in a big way. It worked.
Mhm.
It actually makes Dolph Ziggler look better than him in just a ring, just doing what he normally does. It takes him off of Mount Jobs more because he actually gets wins sometimes. Not all, but sometimes.
Mhm.
It's definitely worked for some of the younger guys like Dabakato. Oh, what's that guy's name? Riddick Moss. It's definitely worked for. Like he knocked some poor dude cold, ripped his shirt off, got all beast like.
Show brought up the point also that it in
So
a
he
weird
does make
way,
a good point.
yeah, but he also brought up the point that it helps progress some storylines. I mean,
Yeah, it also does that. That's
Yeah.
why I'm guessing that's why they had KO and Aleister Black on there, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. So I don't
We're
want to use
working on
that
it.
as a great example. But
My-
you know,
Bruce Pritchard is writing out the storyline while Vince McMahon is erasing chunks of it at the last second. So they're working
No.
on it. It's a work in progress. Give them
damn
time
it,
to fuck
Bruce!
it up.
No!
Give them time to fuck it up, all right?
This is not good shit.
I
No.
I want to see, you guys are talking about building these guys up, Titus O'Neil, Dolph Ziggler, Riddick Moss.
Mhm.
Cool. I'm totally on board for building some of these guys up.
But
What is going to happen when they go back to Raw?
Even Stu
They're
says,
not
I like,
going to be this tough guy,
That's
punch
true.
you in the face
but
asshole.
even Stu agreed with me. He said, I like street fighting Dolph. Yes. Yeah.
I just wish he would stop straightening his hair. Fucking
Oh,
hate it
the
when he does
Brazilian
that.
guy looks good in Fight Club too. Yeah, Ruas. I can't remember his first name, but yeah, he came from Evolve, went to NXT, kind of disappeared. Now he's back in Raw Underground, and he's kind of a jiu-jitsu guy who started in MMA, so that fits him perfectly. He does look quite good there. I like that.
I do see what you're saying though, Brucey. Like, so we're building them up in Raw Underground to be these great tough guys, but what happens when you get out there?
What happens when you get back to the real world?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're not really that tough
it's
guy
gonna
in that
be-
real world.
it's going to be NXT syndrome all over again. Like you're going to come out of there, you're going to go to the main roster, and you're going to slide back to your initial level. Like Titus O'Neil might look like a badass in the back, but get him out front, and he's going to be slipping on the ramp and sliding under the ring. Or Dolph Ziggler's going to be jobbing to somebody. Or Riddick Moss is going to be rolled up again by R-Truth, and R-Truth is the champ. He's just doing it to do it because he's got nothing better to do. And little Jimmy said so. It's gonna be the exact same thing the way they do with NXT talent, and it's gonna suck. But it does give you some decent moments during that show.
I just had the Titus O'Neil bit like replaying in my head for like on a loop, and it's
Can I-
just the funniest.
Can I just bring something up from the beginning of the show that I just thought of?
Go for it.
I still can't get over the fact how they ruined Dijak. Like, they could have put Damian Priest in that friggin' role and ruined him because no one fucking cares about him.
But Damian Priest is the North American champion. We can't ruin his streak.
Have you seen the meme? Have you seen the meme where it's Keith Lee, like big smile. It's like when you hear your girlfriend and your best friend are being called up, and then it shows them in retribution, and then you find out how, and he's just like, ah! It's the funniest. I died. When I'm out of Facebook jail, I'll have to post it. It's funny.
I saw
Yes.
it and I died laughing. It was like, what the fuck? But yeah, and
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say, and this might be the last thing we have, but I think it's safe to say Thunder Rosa had another big week.
She did indeed.
I mean, between last week and Wednesday, in 6 days, she defended the NWA title 3 times.
She has been Miss Steal Your Show.
Including against Priscilla Kelly on the last primetime special. And then came and had the tag match with Sheeta against Diamante and Ivelisse on Dynamite toward the house down.
Amazing fucking match.
Yes.
Again,
And
like,
Ivelisse actually sold for her this match.
Yes.
yeah, which was nice. I felt kind of bad, like talking both her and Ivelisse up so much, and then finding out that Ivelisse actually picked a fight with
I
her.
was so
after the
pissed. I was like, you
I was like,
bitch, I
really?
said you were professional, and you
You just
dicked
pulled
me.
some. Yeah, you just pulled.
You
some
know sold me. You know sold me.
You just pulled some corny shit on me. The last time I said something nice about Corny, he did something fucking awful the
Coffee.
very next day. And so did she.
God damn it, Ivelisse.
Like, damn it, Ivelisse, I love you, but don't do that again.
When I saw that, like I was at work and I went into the bathroom and I closed the door and I opened up and I see it and I was like at the sink. I had to put my phone down. I was like,
Fuck.
son of a bitch.
Like
I
I'm sure
watched-
people
I
were reading
watched
that
a
article,
little-
watching the show, like you dumbass. I'm just like,
Right?
Like I watched the little video clip of her, like when she was sitting on the mat and she did all that. Like you don't notice it sometimes in fast motion,
When
like
you're
when they're
in
doing
it.
it on TV
Yeah.
and you're in it.
Like
so you're
when
like,
you're
oh my God.
when you're all wrapped up in it, you don't really notice, and then
Yeah,
you
you're
see
like-
it afterwards, and you're like, oh,
You're like,
like I was like I watched it, I was like, and she still has a job?
yeah.
If I were to do something like that, like I'd get fired.
Yeah, it's happened to
Like-
me several times. Like I never noticed that
Nothing.
Karrion Kross got hurt in that title match, and I had to go back and watch it again because I was so into the match. And when I watched it again, I was like, "Oh, there it is." But in the middle of it, with all the action and all the drama and who's gonna win it and all this stuff, and a great match in progress, didn't even notice it. Had to go back and look at it again. With Eva Lise, it was the same thing. I'm sitting here talking all this stuff, and then I hear that's the next day. And like Wendy, I'm just holding my head like motherfucker.
Mhm.
But Thunder Rosa had a huge week. It's amazing that where she is right now, considering she's only about 5 years deep into the business.
mm-hmm.
Obviously she had a good run on NWA Power, but then they shut down and she kind of went away for a while. But she came back. Not only is she as good as ever, she might be better now than she was on Power Weekly.
Mhm.
So if we had like a Wrestler of the Week award, I'm giving it to Thunder Rosa. I gotta. She
Oh, yeah.
defended a title 3 times and had a tag match. That's a
Yep,
busy
yep.
fucking week for anybody. And she looked great doing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I
On
think,
no,
Wait.
one last thing.
oh,
the
and
co-
the animal tribute. I'm sorry, Woody. I don't
Oh.
mean to. Stu just
no,
reminded
yeah,
me.
definitely.
The animal tribute on her face when she came out on Dynamite. Oh my God! I know we did
That
the
was
10 bell
classy.
on Wednesday before we broke into everything. We did the 10 bell salute because we had just
Mhm.
heard about Animal passing away. May he rest in peace, and may the Road Warriors be raising some havoc somewhere. But that tribute.
Yep.
Oh.
And
Go ahead. I apologize.
on the Mexican coattails of Thunder Rosa. Let's do a little Latino month celebration here.
Okay.
Felipe, all the way from Chile, sent me a question.
CWA.
So I have to flip the tape here for a second. Hold on. He asked, according to us, who is the most important Latino wrestler in wrestling history?
Like,
Ooh.
okay.
He gave me his opinion. He said El Santo,
Wow.
which I understand because El Santo had all those movies. He brought Lucha Libre to mainstream in such a way. He introduced America to it, the US, I should say, to it. And he was such a big global impact on Lucha Libre. And I think
Yeah.
it's in the generic sense when they asked this question, really, because he read it on
It's
a news thing.
It's so tough for me because there's so many answers. Like I could say La Parca because of all the mainstream success he had in the early days with WCW and really helped to bring Lucha Libre and the cruiserweight division to the United States. I want to say Eddie Guerrero because Eddie took it to a whole other level as far as Latin wrestlers. I mean, how many Latin wrestlers held the WWE championship? It's like
This is true.
there's like maybe a few, and Eddie was one of them, and beat Brock in his prime to win that championship, and everybody
Sorry,
loved
I just made a face because Felipe said, but in wrestling as a Latin wrestler, Rey Mysterio, I will give you plastic knees to match his for that crap, okay? Get out of here with that. I'll fight your ass when you come to the States.
I just want to say,
Aaliyah
not ju-
Mysterio has made a great impact on me. That's
Hey.
like, how you doing? She's 19, right? How you doing?
19, legal age.
Oh, play
Brucey. Brucey, you look like an irritated dad right now.
I mean, you said Eddie, but you can't forget the rest of his family.
Yeah,
No, I
the
know.
whole Guerrero
Mondo.
The
family.
whole Guerrero family. To like
that was going to be my.
legacy.
I
They're
got
not even. It's not the Guerrero family. It's the Guerrero legacy.
legacy,
Yes.
like the
Legacy.
whole ass family, Mondo, Hector, everyone. Like
Chavito,
I
all
think-
of them.
Bravo.
if I think that family is the most important Latin family in wrestling. Like
One of the most, yeah.
like they took what was being done and took it to another level and brought it to new levels, brought it to WWE of all places, where usually, if you notice, luchadors don't go over very well. I don't know what it is.
Not in
It
the
could
E.
be Vince McMahon.
I think
it could be ninjas. I don't know, but
I think it's because Vince is very myopic in his perspective because he grew up old school wrestling, like the old school US wrestling. So he doesn't understand the cultural impact and the importance to its heritage of lucha libre. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get us, and he doesn't understand something simple. That mask does not come off willingly.
yeah.
It doesn't. Look at how
No.
many Mexican luchadors were literally buried with their masks
masks.
on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
no one saw that face
Mhm.
outside of their home.
Everywhere they went in a mask. If they were in public, they were in a mask. It did not
And
matter.
that's
If they were in
one of the
if they were in a
things-
coffin, they were in a mask.
That's one of the reasons why I am not a fan of Rey Mysterio, because he had a mask, he was unmasked, and then he put it back on. No, you do
It's
not
like we
break the
all know
sanctity
what
of
you
it.
look like, dude. We saw you in WCW for all those years without a mask. And while guys like Hoovy, who lost it, and Psychosis, who lost it, kept the mask off, Ray was one of the few to put it back on. And you want to give him credit because
Ray's like the only one to put it back on.
he really is. I think maybe Psychosis donned it here and there for like special occasions, but Ray put it back on and left it on, and he kind of expected people to give him credit for that because of the culture. But at the same time, if you lose it, you're never supposed to
Once
put
it's
it back
gone, it's
on.
gone.
Like those are the rules. I know the rules, don't you, Rey Mysterio? You're in it.
You're fucking Mexican, you should know.
I never
I am
looked
not,
at
and I
it
know
that
the
way.
rules.
I never looked at it that way. Like, I knew about that, but like, I don't know. It just never dawned on me that, like, I knew he took his mask off, but like,
Yeah.
I guess it had been so long in between seeing him. It was one of those moments that wrestling used to live for. When you let someone out of your eyes long enough, you forget. And when they come back, it's like, oh, hey, look, like it's almost like they tried to make you forget about that. Like, they got me.
And to
They
be
got
honest,
me. I never looked at it that way.
And to be
Yep.
honest, I know, but I'm gonna add another question to the pile. Has there ever been an unmasking of a wrestler that you enjoyed? Like once they took that mask off, were you like, oh my god, this is so much better? Because I can't remember one. Like Kane taking his mask off, hated him from then on out. I was like, what is this? Like I was expecting because again, all the talk of the burning and the fire and all that, so you expected like Freddy Krueger face, and he pulled it off, and he was wearing mascara. And you're like,
He's
wait, what
baby-faced.
happened? Even his hair went. You're like, what happened? You know, Rey Mysterio's mask came off, and I was like, "Ooh, put that back on, homie."
Maybe that's why he put it back on.
Maybe it is, but at the same time, like I just, it's one thing lose your mask in a match. I know that's traditional to keep it off. I know Ray didn't, and I can't show him love for that. So I would probably put Eddie Guerrero above him.
Or Dr. Wagner. Sorry, Felipe just said Dr. Wagner Jr. I'm like, yeah.
Dr. Wagner Jr. Yes.
I always say it with a V because in my mind, I'm just like, ooh, it's German. Dr. Wagner.
Dr. Wagner.
I can't help myself.
I love Dr. Wagner Jr. Oh my God, he's crazy. It's like,
you know who respected the rule of the mask? Sexy Star. She took her mask off. It's never gone back on. I follow her on Insta, and I ask myself sometimes, but why? But no, she never put it back on.
You know
never
came
why?
off, never
Because
came on.
she got a bad reputation in the mask.
after the Rosemary thing.
Yeah, but also I asked myself, because of that, why do I follow her on Instagram if I know?
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's good. but I'll judge.
I'm judging myself. It's okay. I'm trash.
I mean, I know he's not Latin or anything.
Low
but
class.
Going back to luchadors, that's the only unmasking is like if somebody tried to pull Jushin Thunder Liger's mask off, he had that whole alter ego,
Kenshin.
Oh, that was crazy. Because
Kenshin was more vicious, and I like
yes,
that.
he was vicious. He was demonic, and he would do anything to get that mask back. And I do mean anything, like deathmatch type stuff, like Wendy and I like. So
that
unmasking
in that regard, yeah, like in that regard, it made sense because it was like a part of the story, and it was like it wasn't just, well, my mask is off. It was like something has been unveiled, something has been exposed that should not have been, and now there
Right.
will be repercussions. And the only way to cage that animal back up is by remasking the man.
Right.
So it makes sense in that regard.
It also, because I was
was
thinking
so
Scorsese with his birthday with the album, and I remember he did the song "Return to Kinchenlager," and that as soon as I said unmasking, the song played in my head, and I remembered that, and I had to put that in because that was probably the only cool unmasking. Like somebody stole Jushin Thunder Liger's mask, and he went crazy and turned into an alter ego, and it was amazing.
You know who's one wrestler that in my mind will always be a Mexican luchador, but he's not even Mexican. El canadiense más mexicano, Vampiro.
Yes,
Was Mexican
Vampiro.
Canadian. He is
There-
not even Mexican, but he is so like ingrained in lucha libre because he got to start there.
Yeah.
That to me, he will always be a
Yeah.
Mexican luchador.
I was gonna say Ultimo Dragon, but that was just because he was he was a huge luchador, lightweight, cruiserweight. Like he did so
Yeah.
much with luchadors that I just I want to get him adopted into Mexican culture with Vampiro. Just you two go over here. Like I just want him in that Latin flavor. Just you guys go. You go. You're good. Don't worry about it. You're in.
Really-
Open the ropes.
Now that we're talking about Lucha Libre, a really cool show on Netflix for you non-Spanish speakers. It does come with subtitles. It's called Nuestra Lucha Libre, Our Lucha Libre. It's a mini series.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Netflix. You should check it out. Like it's
I watched
it's
the first
awesome.
episode. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I was watching it with Mama B because she was like, I've been saving this to watch it with you. I'm like, thanks, Mom. So we were watching it
Aw.
together. It's a great
love
show,
Mama
and they talk
B.
about like so many. They talk too many wrestlers. They talk about many of them, and I love that they also talk about like Los Exóticos, the masked ones, unmaskings, everything, and not just like tell me about your wrestling. It's like their experience now as they're in it. They speak to one of the oldest women wrestlers. They speak to one of the oldest fans who goes to like every show, literally. She's amazing. I'm in love with her. She's life goals, to
Wow.
be honest. But it's a great show. So, it's the story of Arena Mexico. Thanks, Felipe.
you,
Arena
Felipe.
Mexico. Sorry, social tape. But yeah, check it out, you guys.
fine.
Great show. You learn a lot. It's beautiful.
I'm just glad that you said it because I would have fucked it up. So
I got you, fam.
all right, I think that's all we got this week. Thank you everybody for showing up. Let's kick it to the high class one so we can stretch itself
sure.
out, get all limber, and
As he
maybe,
stretches.
maybe just
You know, I
maybe
can't
he
stretch
will
like that
hit.
anymore.
He will hit the Instagram as well as I did on Wednesday's episode.
You did it damn good on Wednesday.
First take psycho. Out.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on Facebook at TRWT. We are a publicly traded Facebook group. Come in, join, we'll let you in, talk anything wrestling you want, join the forums, join the threads, have fun, give us questions to ask on the show, and, like I said, have fun. Now, if you want to buy merch, this is where I start going, and then Dom takes the rest of the over for me. So
I try to help. I got you, homie.
So if you would like to buy merch, you can find that on Facebook at TRWT Merch. It's our page. They got our shirts on there, the logos we have, the hoodies that are out now. Hoodies are out, right?
Yes.
If they're not out now, they will be out beginning of October.
Yeah.
Kirby, are the hoodies out? Tell us.
Right? No. So the hoodies are coming. Coffee mugs,
The
leggings.
hoodies are coming. The hoodies are coming.
The leggings are
Hooray,
coming.
hooray.
We have our female line called Lipstick and Ladders. I really like that name. That name.
I really do.
Kirby's brilliant. I love it.
Kirby's amazing. I love
She
her.
really is.
And from there, you can find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. We've actually had, since Grandma Wendy's been in Facebook jail, our Twitter's been blowing up all day.
Hashtag free grandma.
I was actually talking to the owner of my company, and Twitter goes bing, 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 right in a row. And I'm like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Let me put
with
this on
so much
silent.
support for that. Oh my god.
Yes, we had a very eventful day. Yes, hashtag free Grandma Wendy.
Please
we
free
actually,
me.
Let her out. Look at her. She's so sweet.
We-
Why would you do that, Facebook? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why? Because I'm
Wrong.
trash.
You can throw me in jail all you want. I ain't afraid to go
I'm
back to prison.
uncultured swine.
What?
No, she's great. I'm uncultured swine. You can throw me back in prison anytime you want. I'll go back. I ain't scared.
And you can also find us on, this is going to be fun. You can find us on Instagram at top_rope_wrestling_talk. Yes, I made that difficult for me to say on air every week.
And then
But
I
you got it.
one take.
Uno.
Oh, good night, Michael. Good night, Brian. I love
Good
you
night,
guys.
Stu. Good night, Brian. We love you guys. What else do we have? Oh, make sure to come to our Facebook group on Sunday night. Clash of Champions. We're going to be having a party room. It won't be recorded. It will not be put on YouTube. You can come in. You can say what you want. You can do what you want. You can drink what you want. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You just have fun with people like Grandma Wendy, as long as she's out of jail. People like me, maybe even the high class one, if he can get away. We usually do discussion threads. We figured this time let's change it up. Let's have a little party room. Let's have some fun. So even if the pay-per-view sucks, we can just sit around and shoot shit about whatever the fuck else, because that's what we do.
Like how shitty the pay-per-view is.
Yeah, like, oh, pay-per-view
That's pretty
shitty.
much what we
Okay,
do, isn't
what
it?
do you think's going to happen on
Yeah, pretty
AEW
much.
next week, guys? You know, that sort of thing.
Oh,
Exactly.
I mean, we'll forget about it because we'll have a pay-per-view next week anyways.
Right, it doesn't have that real feel to it. You're absolutely right. Like, oh yeah, don't worry, we'll have another one next week. Maybe we'll get it right.
We're going to one pay-per-view a month. Pandemic. Let's have 3 pay-per-views a month.
Right?
Seriously.
What the fuck? But we will have a
Make
party
our money
room.
back.
We will be posting it in our Facebook group. You can come in, chit chat with us, talk about the show, talk about our show, talk about putting together bail money for Grandma Wendy. Whatever you want to do.
You know what? We're gonna call it Chat of Champions for the Clash
There we
of Champions
go.
night. There you go.
Chat of Champions.
So the day of, we'll be
And
opening
of
it up.
course, no Chat of Champions would be complete without the 17-time Psycho himself.
This again. Should I on that note, should I discuss where they can find our podcasts?
Please do.
Absolutely.
Okay. You can find us on anchor.fm/TRWT. I'm too lazy to say W, so you get dub. That should be the jingle, shouldn't it? TRWT. It's our call letters. So you can find us there. From there, you can find us wherever podcasts are listened to. I was going to say sold, but they're not really sold. So you can find us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio,
The
Stitcher.
list goes on and on.
Yeah, it's a long
We got a
list.
lot.
So wherever you listen to podcasts, that's where you can find us.
And amazingly, people are actually listening now. I guess it's because we're telling you they're there. I don't know. All of a sudden, I looked up.
That's
We're
great.
like the plays and downloads just through the roof. So it's like, okay, I know the YouTube gets pretty popular, but now the podcast is blowing up. Like, y'all are making me feel special. Like I really do have all these championships. Thank you.
But yeah, when you go there, also rate us, review us, share us, tell everybody. Like I share it with my mom, and then my mom shares it with all her friends. So there's a lot of people that listen to us out there. I don't know if all of them know what the hell I'm talking about, but you know what? Thank you all. I appreciate
Thank you for
y'all.
listening anyway. We love you, whether you
So,
know what
yeah.
we're talking about or not.
So yeah, find us, check us out. Oh, Stu, thanks. I will check my books. Thanks for that soup money, brother. Ramen.
Got that money for the commissary.
But on the for reals, I'm too soft for that kind of shit. Going to jail, I wouldn't be able to survive.
But yeah, thank you everybody for watching, for showing up and chatting along with us, for having a good time with us. We enjoyed the hell out of this. I needed this. And I think, again, since we started you off with a little bit of Scorsese, we're going to keep things going for our birthday brother here.
Yes, happy
we're gonna-
birthday, Shelly.
We're going to play you out with Ode to Camp Low off Midnight Express, and we're going to tell you we will see you either Sunday if you join the Chat of Champions, or next week. Stay safe out there. Wear a mask. Don't be a low key.
And stay fresh, cheese bags.
There it is. Hit it, Scorsese.
Yeah. Another day, another dollar. Mountains of Guatemala. $7 in your pocket. Divide the metropolis. Metroplex is forming and soaring. Very Corbin and cash. Catch me up smooth in a hatchway. Put the cash away, we cast away. All the bellies slide to timers, staring, catching Alzheimer's on balconies. Shocker. Bumping guns, rubbing cocaine on their tongue. Wave along the Switzerland, skiing slopes. Sniper zero scopes, flee the coast, handwritten notes.
God
Seeing gold to Gucci
damn.
suede. 30 shooters moving with a boots fade. Lubricates like Super Dave. Palm Springs, we drink